It's good to see so many people um, come into this broadcast listening to a logical word, a logical word, not illogical, a logical word, a logical message. You know, because that tells me that people are starting to think. That people are starting to think beyond their parameters, the borders, the boxes that we were put in. That's what this is telling me. That is proof that people are getting brighter, people are getting smarter, people are getting faster in their way of thinking. Yeah. I played that song "Pure," and I didn't think about it until I got into it. That you know, a pure mind is a logical mind. A pure mind is a logical mind, one that focuses and works on common sense and logic, things that have a working order of intelligence. You know, this is the reason why black people are in the condition they're in today, because everything that black people follow, all of their beliefs, philosophies, ways of thinking, actions, are all controlled by illogical ways of thinking. Everything, you know, we are by nature logical people, right? And we are going against our nature by following things that are not based in logic, by involving ourselves in relationships and all sorts of mishaps, things that are not dealing with logic and common sense. We don't ask ourselves the hard questions. We don't ask ourselves the organized questions. We don't think, period. Our brains have went to crap, you know. We just out here reacting. We just out here following. We just out here listening to anybody. Anybody just comes up with anything. I don't care if it's a white person, black person. We just accepting illogical philosophies and ways of thinking and beliefs. And then we wonder why we can't get real outcomes and change in our situation in life. We're going to attack I'm going to try to get every last one of these illogical ways and actions and beliefs of black people, because it's in 2012 we need to put things on the table right now if we're going to move forward as a people. Even though I know a lot of our people are not trying to move forward, they're comfortable where they are. This broadcast tonight is for the dissatisfied, the uncomfortable, the people who are looking to grow, who are busting out of those old shoes, who are busting out at the seams of those old coats. You know, I use that as a euphemism for the old mindset. We're going to discuss that tonight. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares, and this is State of Mentel Radio. And tonight, the illogical thoughts, beliefs, and actions of black people. Right? No time like there has been no time like now where we're in a stage of growth, where we come to a crossroads. Right? We're at a crossroads where we can either evolve and move forward and change and transform as people, or we can stay in a time frame, stay in a limited box, right? In these limited boxes that have done nothing but cramp our growth, that stunted our growth, right? Everything that we've been following here in America, everything that we continue to follow, even the so-called Pan-Africanism, the Islam, the Judaism, the Egyptology, all the things that we've been following have not addressed our growth, our mental growth, and our physical growth. It has not dealt with us as real thinking people today. We sit up here and listen to politics. We listen to people tell us that programs was the problem. We need more programs. We need more education. We need more, whatever. You heard of blah, 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 blah. We heard it all. All the things that, these black sock puppets that you call politicians, with their hands of the white man up their damn back, they sitting up here telling us all the things we need as a distraction, right? When people give you your way of thinking, when people are allowed to tell you what you need, and they find people who are willing to accept the answer, accept the philosophy, accept the belief, then it's easy to control these people. It's easy to control their thoughts. I had a book, and I still have this book. Someone gave it to me, but I never really read it. It's called Mind Control in the United States. Big binder with, it's a lot of things. I don't go, in for the conspiracy because I don't deal with conspiracy, but the truth of, you know, how this thing works, this society works, is in the name. You're under a government. I always say this for those of you who haven't listened to this broadcast. You're under a government, and the word government is short for governmental, meaning control of the mind. They tell you right there what it is or how they control the people, not through guns, not through force. I mean, that's always the last, resort. But it's always through mind control, always through programming, always through giving you illogical things to think about, to believe in. And this dictates your actions. Let's take a look at some of the things that black people are still thinking about. I was sparked to do this broadcast because me and a few of my brothers, we had an encounter with some Israelites, right, here in New York City, right? Now, we, us within the state of Mental, we refer to ourselves as mentalists, meaning receivers of higher intelligence. We went amongst the Israelites, and we already pretty much knew what was going to happen, right? These are some rogue Israelite guys. You see these guys. They stand up there, dirty-ass robes, reading from a bunch of old books, old biblical passages, and they're basically trying to get people to believe, or they've managed to convince themselves somewhat that, some God is going to come out of the sky, somebody's going to give them a helping hand and is going to flip this whole thing over and put them in authority and put them in charge, right? Now, they're saying this with a straight face, right, with the dirty robes on, drunk. The guys was talking to us, he was preaching us drunk. One of the guys wanted to act like he wanted to attack me and my people. We were just sitting there listening, because, like I said, we do this, we'll sit and listen to people. And God told us they was the servants of God, of the Lord. And I was like, wow, if you guys are the servants of a supreme being or higher power, if you're the output of a supreme being or higher power, then that God is in trouble, right? God, or a supreme being or a higher power, what we refer to as an intelligent man, has never dealt with people who are unintelligent, people who are not dealing in logic, right? You got our people sitting here trying to read and breathe life into a bunch of old dead words from old books like the Bible and the Quran to try to change their condition today. I've heard black people say something, nonsense like, what was going on in the past. The past is the future. I heard something stupid like that the past is the future, right? The past is the future, right? So by that, we can expect colonialism and people walking around in colonial dress to come back. We can expect people to walk around looking like George Washington and all that to come back. We can expect ways of life that are passed out long ago. We can expect all that to come back. Or, is it logical to think that, a certain time has passed and we've moved on? We're going to go back to horses and carriages and buggies? Really? We're going to go back to swords and long robes and garbs and stuff like that? That's what they're advocating. This is what they're seriously telling black people. Right? They're seriously telling black people that we're going to go back to that, where, women are men's property, and, you'll be able to take a woman and rape her if you want to. Just take her off the street and rape her. These are the men of God. Scary, weird, crazy, illogical, right? Y'all went with Christianity. Our people went with Christianity. 400 years, still in Christianity, strong, right? A belief that's not based in any fact, that's not based in any logic. Just a bunch of people following a philosophy, an idea, that was given to them by a slave master. Gave you a white Jesus, and black people just worshipped it without question, no problem. And still do. A lot of old black people still do today, right? They sit up here and they'll worship a religion that was given to them by a slave master, and then sit in the civil rights movement and talked about freedom and wanting freedom, but you following the hierarchy of a God and a people that put you in slavery. And you continue to follow this madness today. You continue to follow Jesus and God. I sat up here and I listened to a guy one time. A lot of these hustlers now, a lot of the hustlers who are flipping over in the conscious movement, they moving from Christianity. They was old pastors and priests and pimps. Pastors and preachers and pimps. You know, all that the P's go hand in hand. But anyway, these guys are now dealing with Egyptology, right? But they ain't let go of Jesus. They dealing with Egyptology and they trying to tell a real story because that's the new hustle. Right? Egyptology, all that's the new hustle. You done sold people a story about somebody living on a cloud, right? And that some invisible God or some invisible spook is going to somehow make everything all right. Right? This is what you sold people, the madness you sold people. This is the madness our people are still pursuing and pushing. You know? They think this is normal. Same goes for Islam. Our people are banging their head on the floor and trading out one God, one mystery God, one spook for another. One invisible God, right, that is the premonition of a man who you don't even know. Yet everybody accepted this man's premonition, the man by the name of Muhammad. You know, it's bad enough, you know, you had no proof of a Jesus, but you accepted the premonitions of a man, some Arab, that don't even look like you, his premonition of some God. Now, it's funny how he gave validity to all of the Old Testament books, right? He gave validity to the Bible, but he said that, I'm going to bring a better Bible called the Quran, and it's going to be corrected, you know, because the Bible's tampered with. Based on what? Because he said so. So he just brought you a better so-called Bible, and everybody jumped on that bandwagon because it sounded good. Hell, you know, black people forgot that they got introduced to these things through slavery. Black people lost themselves in the fact that, you know, we're supposed to be forward-thinking people who are dealing with the now, the reality. Our people sit up here and they'll talk about these people. Yet these people, you know, as much as you say, our people say, okay, these people are caught in the past, but these people were dealing with their time and their life. They were living their life. The customs, traditions, and cultures that they adopted were based on their present-day life. Even your Egyptians, because that's a big thing with black people too, Egyptology. You know, people trying to be like the Egyptians, trying to jack their style, jack their culture, something that developed amongst those people in that present-day time, right? Black people are trying to get some sort of power, trying to get some sort of feel-good off of these people, you know, to connect yourself to something great. These people done come, they lived, they had their time, and they died. Black people have locked themselves in to these time frames, and they wonder why there's no change or no evolution in real time with our people, right? Because you got these hustlers who are telling you to lock your mind and be in the image of a bunch of dead people, past people, people who were in past time frames. There's nobody today talking about the future evolution of our people. Nobody. Hell, we're the only ones talking about this in the state of mental. That's why our radio broadcast is becoming more popular, because I'm the only one talking about the future and the evolution of a people. I'm the only one revealing higher intelligence about the evolution of our people. Everybody else is talking about some mysteries and some spaceship nonsense and things that, you know, you can't grow with as a person. How is this helping you other than to rock you to sleep like giving you a bedtime story, a lifetime goddamn bedtime story? Something to keep you addle-brained and ignorant. Something to take your mind off of the reality that your life is going nowhere. I sat there and watched these men, the Israelites, young men, and they you know, and these guys look old as hell. I'm 41 years old. I'm gonna be 42. These guys were going bald. These guys in their 30s, they look old as hell. They look beat up, worn out. That's desolation. That's disappointment. That's people who can't deal with reality. That's people who are not dealing in logic. They're waiting for somebody to come out of the sky and give them something. Notice the theme in all of these beliefs. In the theme of all of these beliefs, there's a handout. There's always a handout. There's always black people looking for somebody to give them something. There's always black people looking to live the lives of somebody else. It's never our people looking to move forward. It's never our people looking to find out who you are and advance in who you are. Notice no emphasis is ever put on that. It's people trying to be extensions of other people. When we talking about we Egyptians, I'm not saying, yeah, we came from ancient Nubia and Kemet. Our people was there. We was in parts of Africa. Our people was all over the damn planet. But we are extensions. You understand? We're not, we're not supposed to be extending these people's culture and extending these people's way of life. We're supposed to be growing into our own, advancing into a higher intelligence. We're not supposed to get stuck in anybody's culture, anybody's philosophy, or anybody's belief. Because anything that doesn't grow, anything that doesn't move forward is dead. And that's the black race today. That's why it's so much confusion. That's why it's no forward motion. Everything is moving in a circle. Everything is moving in a rotation. Your rituals, everything is done in a rotation. You pray, you eat, you sleep. You do everything in a ritual. Black people are doing nothing to pioneer anything in the new world. Nothing. You got the white man, he's jumping on spaceships and going to other planets, going through space travel, and the black man still sitting around here talking about goddamn Pontius Pilate and Jesus Christ. Are you serious? Sitting around here talking about how Muhammad's beard was red and how he prayed 5 times and whatnot, as if you was there with him. This is what black people are doing. You got neglect of your intelligence. This is what this should be called, negligence of intelligence. Negligence of intelligence, because you are neglecting your own mental growth by moving in these philosophies. You're neglecting your own mental growth. This is why you're producing children, right? This is why you're producing children who are walking around with their pants hanging off their ass, smoking weed all day because they can't get nothing from you. Mommy too busy in the church getting prayed up. Daddy too busy in the mosque banging his head on the goddamn floor, waiting for some God to come out of the sky and take him to heaven when he died so he can get 70 virgins. Are you serious? Are you goddamn serious? Let me be the voice of reason for you tonight, people. Let me be the voice of reason for you. See, because the God that you're talking about, the man that you're talking about, is a man of reason, intelligence, logic. A man, not a spook or a spirit hiding on, floating on a goddamn cloud somewhere, waiting to give you 40 virgins or 80 virgins or whatever the hell virgins you looking for. But, hey, I didn't know you could have sex in heaven, you Muslims. Right? The black man and black woman will jump on anything that doesn't make sense. We'll jump on anything. We'll follow anything that makes no sense. We won't think. We refuse to think. Why? Because thinking is too hard. We've been taught that thinking is too hard. White man said, nigga, let me do your thinking for you. Let me give you some books to read. Let me give you some philosophies to follow. Let me give you some beliefs to accept. And y'all accepted it. You put your energy into these things. You put your mind into these things. Hell, you got the red, black, and green Negroes, you RBG Negroes. Y'all sitting around here pushing Africa, the philosophy of a white man. Some white people, some Romans who said that, the planet needs to be sectioned off. You understand? The planet needs to be sectioned off into certain groups of people. He said, over here will be the Asians, over here will be the Europeans, and over here will be the Africans. And you guys swear up and down that this was some natural order as if it came from God himself who divided these goddamn land masses. No, that was the mentality and the idea of a man, yet you accepted that, yet you call yourself Africans. That's limitations. That's illogical. It makes no sense. People tell you that life started in Africa. How the hell do life start on dry land? Life started in water, right? All life starts in water. Even in the embryonic sac inside of a woman, all life starts in water. How the hell life going to start on dry land? But our people don't think because we followers. We followers of illogical things. It's nothing wrong with being a follower, but be a follower of something that's intelligent. Be a follower of something that's smart. Nothing that's not something that's stupid. Not something that don't make no damn sense. Right? Our people don't want to do that. But I'm going to be the voice of reason tonight. I'm going to be the voice of logic tonight. Because that's what we base the knowledge of mentellect on. The foundation of the knowledge of mentellect is, or should I say the intelligence of mentellect, is logic, always. Even if it seems far-fetched to you, it will resonate as logical. And it will make sense because it starts our people to thinking again. Because the biggest thing that the beast focused on was to get our people to stop thinking. Well, in slavery, he got you to cut your mind off. He got you to accept getting your ass whipped, working for nothing, being nothing, doing nothing, get you to accept the system. Right? He got you to accept that. And our people still accept that. Our people still go to the beast, and we looking for things to change through him. We still looking for politics to help black politician, right? Still looking for a program or a government handout. The Moors, they sitting here they waiting for the white man to give them sovereignty, right? And give them a piece of land here in America. They own states in America. They believe that. You really believe, or do you really think, screw the word believe tonight. Do you really think these people will sit here after they fought and shed blood, killed, enslaved, took land from people? You really think these people are going to give you something? You understand? You really believe that? You really think they're going to hand over states to you because it's the right thing to do? Have these people been doing the right thing? So what makes you think some treaties and some pieces of paper and all that's going to make a difference? This is people who are not dealing with reality. These are people that are not dealing with logic. Logic is reality. These people have already thought this out already. They don't got to give you a damn thing. But our people don't want to hear that. See, and the sad thing is, a lot of our people are following this madness. All of the intelligence that could have been put together to come up with a real solution to bring our people into a future evolution is being wasted on a bunch of nigger nonsense. Like Africa, you understand? And, Negroes talking about repatriating back to Africa. The white man owns Africa. Hello. Coming to 2012, the Chinese, all of them, they're bringing all the technology over to Africa for the damn Africans. The Africans don't own Africa. You understand? These people don't. Why? Because the Africans that your niggas love so much, the ones that y'all love, the African culture and the dancing and the kente cloth and the beating on the goddamn drums that you niggas love so much. These same Africans that while they was busy beating on the goddamn drums and the kente cloth and walking around their ass out and painting themselves up and doing all kinds of rituals, the white man was getting involved in technology. The East Indian, the Arab, the Chinese, they focusing on technology and advancing their people. That's what they focused on. So they can turn around and come over to Africa and take the land. And tell the people, we'll build your railroads, we'll build your cities, we'll bring you all kinds of technology. And the Africans go, no, sound good. They put on a three-piece suit and them African handkerchief head niggas, they go, oh, it sounds good. No problem. They'll accept it. You understand? They'll accept it. Why? Because they were so busy beating on drums and shaking their ass, they didn't think about nothing else. That was it, the culture. Because that's the big thing with black people in America. You niggas love the culture. Let me tell you what culture does for people. Culture stagnates the mind of a people. It tells a people that you have to keep doing things in a ritual and a custom and things that really makes no sense. You understand? No real logical sense. But because some man said that y'all supposed to do this, and you don't even ask questions, you keep doing it in a ritual. So you got black men who are calling themselves Muslims. They running around trying to be more Muslims than the damn Arabs. You understand? They ones running around. I'm in here in New York City. Black men are running around dyeing their beards red. The Arabs and the Indians and the Pakistanis, they not doing that madness. I mean, some of them you'll see, but they not doing that. They over here for one reason and one reason only, to make money. Don't get fooled by their so-called Islamic rant. They are moderate Muslims. But, whenever the damn black man and black woman get involved in something, they become fanatics. They want to accept a fantasy. They want to believe that they're going to be someplace banging their head to the end of time, waiting, and going to Mecca to push people out of the way to kiss rocks and throwing rocks at something called the devil. Are you serious? This from a people that once ruled the world. You understand? Madness, ignorance, illogical ways of thinking from people who once ruled the world. The premier people. You understand? Now their brains are in ruins. Their thinking is in ruins. Just like the ruins that you niggas go to Egypt and sit up here and worship and try to touch and want to touch the face of the people in Egypt and all this madness. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with going to Egypt and visiting. I'm not saying that. But you niggas done took it to an all-time low. Anytime you sitting here and you want to shape your life around that. You understand? You trying to jack off of the culture of a bunch of other people who lived already. That hell, we might as well go back in 1930 and put on fedoras, like our grandmothers did. At least that'd be closer. And put on, you black might as well put on corsets and long ass dresses, and all the way down to the knee, and live like how they lived in the early 1800s. If you're gonna go back, why? Because we are supposed to be evolving into a new people, and you people who are pushing these illogical ways, these illogical thoughts and actions are stunning the growth. By you pushing your Pan-Africanism, you're stunning the growth. By you promoting this nonsense idea that the white man is somehow, and you Moorish people are promoting this idea that the white man is somehow going to turn around and hand over a bunch of land to you, who they think of you as a bunch of niggas. You really believe that they're going to sit up here and hand you over some land because you got some papers? Are you serious? But this is the illogical thoughts, beliefs, and actions of black people. Black people will accept illogical ways and actions because whenever you try to come real with black people, they don't want it. They don't want to hear it. That's why a lot of our people didn't accept the knowledge or the intelligence of Mentellect, what we are advocating in the state of Mentel, future intelligence. A lot of our people didn't want to accept that. They still want to hold on to Africa. They still want to hold on to Egypt. They still want to hold on to Islam, Christianity, Judaism, all that nonsense. All the things that we done went past, we done blew past, and we're supposed to be into a whole another mind frame. We're supposed to be in a whole evolutionary state and a whole mental solace. We're supposed to be going into an evolutionary change, advancing, actually becoming a race of gods on earth, supreme people, people who are tapping into their higher intelligence, their mental capabilities. That's what we're supposed to be becoming. The things that the white man is doing today, where he's tapping into the telepathy and all this stuff, that's supposed to be our natural abilities coming out today. But we can't do that because you got so many. The mentality of the black man and black woman is so damn low on the planet to where it's ridiculous. Yeah. Hell, the black woman, she think it's natural to walk around, and like I said, we don't even scratch our head. We think it's natural for the black woman to walk around with a blonde wig on her head and blue contact lenses, black as the ace of spades. You think it's natural for Mary J. Blige to walk around looking like that, and you black women support that. You don't think it's something. Y'all need to be sending Mary some condolences cards like, girl, you okay? That's what y'all need to be doing. Girl, you okay? Low self-esteem, huh? But hell, y'all done made her. Y'all done became Avengers for her. Y'all became Avengers for Mary J. Y'all Mary J. fanatics. You love. She walk here. It is this nigga woman walking around with blonde hair. You understand? In her head, a damn blonde wig on her head. How ridiculous is that? But you got 1,000, hell, millions of black women who walking around like that. The black man, he walking around with damn vampire contact lenses in his eyes. Are you a dog contact lenses in his eyes? Blue contact and ice blue dog werewolf contact. Are you serious? Are you niggas 3 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old? How old are you niggas? Is anybody gonna grow up? Is anybody gonna grow up? See, because when you promote illogical ways of thinking, it's best to promote that to people who have a childlike mentality. And that's what the black man has got and the black woman has got in this society. Childlike mentality. I'm going to take a call. I usually don't take it in the first hour, but I'm going to go ahead and take a call. 706. 706, you're on the air.
How you doing, man, Carl?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I mean, I got a few questions. Questions.
Okay.
All right. The first question. First question is, what is your highest level of education?
What is my highest level of education?
Yeah.
I finished high school.
And that's all you got?
That's all I needed.
Okay. And have you ever even attempted to go to college?
Yeah, I did.
What happened?
I didn't need it. I decided to do something else. I decided to think on my own. Because I had no reason to be there if I wasn't going to be a doctor, if I wasn't going to be a lawyer, if I wasn't going to pursue medicine or law, I had no reason to be there. Because a lot of the times, black people, they'll go to college just to get a degree. They're not there to do anything, pursue anything of any real worth. You understand? And I'm not going to be a handkerchief-head Negro that's going to sit up in college and get in debt for $80,000 and $90,000 just to get a piece of paper on the wall like Negroes seem to be proud of. So that's why I didn't college.
Did you know that if you serve your country, they'll pay for it for you if you serve with honor, right? You know that, right?
I'm not interested. I'm not interested in serving anybody other than my own person.
Next question. Have you ever done anything unselfishly for your people?
I'm doing it now. I'm about waking my people up. I'm doing it unselfishly now. A lot of times.
But you just said that this is all about the bright race, right?
Yes, sir.
If this is all about the bright race, then you realize that this broadcast that you broadcasted on was invented by our servants. No, by our servants, the humans.
Okay, that's fine. Well, actually, it wasn't.
That's fine.
Let me stop you for a second. Nothing was invented. First of all, what I teach, nothing was invented by man. Everything was generated knowledge into the minds of men. That's how you get men who were sitting in caves. All of a sudden, they walking upright. All of a sudden, they building empires. These are all ideas that are generated into your head. You think nothing up. Everything is a generated image in your head. Somebody's been thinking your thoughts for you already on a higher level. You're part of a bigger plan. So no, the white man, the humans, or whoever thought nothing up.
Humans thought nothing up.
No, they didn't. Everything, like for example, you had a time where there were no TVs, no cars, no radios, none of this. All that came with the advent of the 20th century, right?
Right.
Where did it come from? Because there was nothing to build upon that. Where did it come from? Did it just pop out of the air?
You talking about TVs and
yeah, where did TVs and computers all come from?
First it started out with the invention of electricity.
Nobody invented. Well, let me stop you. Nobody invented electricity. Already, you sounding illogical already. Nobody invents electricity. Electricity is here. It was here.
You know,
Nobody. You mean what you mean to say? Hold on. What you mean to say? Hold on. Let me stop you. What you mean to say is when the white man discovered electricity, which he really didn't discover at first. The Egyptians was using electricity. Okay, they was using electricity back when they were building the pyramids.
Okay,
so
right.
That's a natural resource. But go ahead.
Right, you're right. I agree with that. But this is another question that I got. Okay, this is another question that I got. So if you're saying that the bright race, right? You're saying if you believe in the bright race, you're saying that the bright race comes from the so-called black race, right?
Mhm.
So
they are amongst the black. They don't come from the black race. They are amongst the black race. There's a difference. You got a lot of our people. Hold on. Let me say this. You got a lot of our people who are the intelligent ones of our people who are not like the Negroes. You understand? You got a lot of ignorant Negroes out here, and it seems like it's a tribe of ignorant Negroes, and they follow a certain mindset.
Why you referring to people as Negroes and whites and just have you ever been a part of an order of any kind?
Have I been a part? Yeah, I'm a part of a new order. I'm part of a new order. I'm not interested in your old ways. I'm not interested in the old ways of the Negroes and the white man. I'm not interested.
I asked you a yes or no question. Have you ever been a part of any order than the order that you're saying, which is called the New Order? Have you ever been a part of any?
Yes, I have.
Tell me the order. Tell me what order or orders you have already been a part of.
I was a part of the ancient Egyptian order at one time under Dr. York.
Under Dr. Malachi Z. York. And what did you learn from him? What did you learn from him?
What did I learn from Dr. Malachi Z. York? I learned a lot.
Right.
He opened my mind up to a lot of things. He opened my mind up to a lot of things.
Hold
on, wait a minute. He opened my mind up to a lot of things that were presently here, and he opened my mind to things that I'm receiving now. Because had I not went through that experience of being in orders under Dr. Malachi Z. York, my mind wouldn't be open to receive what I'm receiving now. So no, I'm not taking anything from Dr. Malachi Z. York. He opened my mind up. That's what all good teachers do, so that the students can move on and receive higher intelligence.
So how come you never give him credit for his work?
I have given him credit. What am I doing right now? I could have sat up here and lied to you and said I was never part of No Order. What are you talking about?
Okay, I just asked some questions.
Okay, but it's illogical what you're saying. You got to think before you ask questions.
I wrote these questions down, so I mean,
okay,
I'm not.
All right.
So let me ask you a question. So would you, just hypothetically, all right? You say you live in Brooklyn, New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is
and by the way, let me hold on. By the way, I did a whole broadcast on Dr. Malachi Z. York and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I credited both of those men as being mentors to me. So, being that I did that, I didn't never hide that I was a student of both of these great men. I listened to both of their words and whatnot because they opened me up. So, we can go ahead and ask your next question.
Okay, my next question is: you say you live in Brooklyn, New York, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is the actual environment like there? Like, what does it look like? Is it a lot of trash everywhere? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does it look? Is it clean or is it dirty?
Some places are clean, some places are dirty, just like any place else.
What about the area that you're in? Like, let's give it like a 50-mile radius. A 50-mile radius from where you at, all around you, what it look like? Is it clean or is it dirty?
My area is clean. All right.
So in the area that you in, 50 miles all around, 360 degrees, you saying it's clean?
Where I'm at, like I said, where I'm at is clean. I'm not saying that all New York is clean. Of course not. New York is a filthy place. But the Americans, like I said, for the most part, are filthy people. So
why aren't you like trying to promote the people as one to try to help clean it up, or do you need money to do that, or could you not just do that unselfishly?
Ooh, I'm doing that which is expedient to what I'm here to do, and that is raise the intelligence of my people. I'm not interested in neighborhood cleanup. You understand? They got people called sanitation for that. There's a department called the sanitation department. I'm not a part of the sanitation department. I'm not going to do these jobs. They get paid to do that.
But you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't get out there and clean up for nothing.
These people get paid to do that. I'm not going to take anybody's job. I'm not going to make people's job. Their job is to clean up. That's their job. Just like I have a job to clean up the minds of my people. That's my job.
But how
I don't encroach on their job, and they don't encroach on mine.
How do you clean up the minds of your people when you use such foul language constantly?
When I use foul language, what foul language did I use?
You say things like niggas and whites.
Now all of a sudden you have a problem with the word nigger. But did you ever address the white man when he was calling black people niggas, or in the rap music and things like that? But now when I say the word nigger, it's a problem.
But you're a mentalist though. You're supposed to be of higher intelligence. You're supposed to be a person of great intellect, right? So why do you use such language? Such language?
Because that's what the people know. I'm not going to come up here and I could do a whole broadcast where you wouldn't even understand what the hell I'm talking about and whatnot, because I could raise the. Hold on, let me finish. I can do that, but I decided to speak on the level where a lot of people can identify with, because, like I said, I was raised around niggas. Let me finish. You asking me a question, I'm going to answer you. I was raised around niggas, all right? Okay. And when I say niggas, I mean people who had no real value for life, people who had no real, who wasn't trying to raise the intelligence level of people. In fact, they brought it down. So when I make reference to the niggas, I try to separate my people from the niggas, because I don't want my people thinking that they are a part of the niggas. And if I said nigga enough too much for you, sir, well, that's what it is.
You ain't offending me. Trey, you ain't offending me at all. I'm just saying, Like, I just don't understand why you say it. I mean, why you keep saying it? It's a broken record.
Yeah, well, because there's a lot of niggas out here. It's a lot of niggas. Elijah Muhammad said nigga. Dr. York said nigga. You know what I mean? Why
I thought
not?
we was moving forward, though.
Like I said, there's a lot of niggas out
again. So we can be
I'm not
in
the past. That's a continuous word. That y'all gonna keep that in heavy rotation. So why not let me use it? Y'all gonna keep that in. I have no problem with the word. See, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a hair trigger thing when it comes to words and things. I don't have a hair trigger reaction, so it don't really bother me.
All thing I'm saying is, sir, is that if you're using words like niggas and whites and shit like that, you cannot say that you're intellectually. You can't use that name.
According to who? According to
who? I'm just saying.
According to no. What do you? According to who? Why do you say what? Who says that I can't use those words and not be intellectual? You don't even really understand what I say when I use the title, the intellectual Newton Minkaris. Do you understand what I mean by that?
I understand what you mean by that.
Tell me what I mean by that. Tell me what do I mean when I refer to myself as the intellectual Newton Minkaris? What do I mean by intellect?
You mean that you saying that you are of a being, Nubian?
That I'm
you
a what?
saying that you a Nubian? You saying that you're a being, a being? You're a type of being that is intellectual, and you go by Minkaris.
Okay, you've explained nothing. You've explained nothing, so I'll do this for you. Okay.
All right,
when I talk about because you didn't answer anything. You just you know.
Explain it.
I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain this to you. I'm going to explain this to you, and then I'm going to take other calls because when I say the word intellectual, I'm speaking about one who is in tune with higher intelligence, advanced intelligence, or future intelligence. The word intel means in tune with something. Now, that is not an English word. It actually goes back further because you can find bits and pieces of the broken word tell in the ancient Hebrew language and things, even going further back. And the word in the Sumerian language, which meant Lord, it was spelled E-N or, N. But this goes all the way back through our tongue and through our ancient languages and whatnot and evolved up into this day and time. So, yeah, I am tuning into a higher intelligence, but I also keep my feet planted firmly in the present to talk to people in the present, because if I did that, if I blew past the word nigga, if I blew past certain words and phrases that I use, then I would lose a lot of people. And I'm not interested in losing a lot of people right now. I'm interested in picking up my people. Those are my people who are amongst me, the ones of our people who are amongst the black race. My message is not for the black race. It is for the bright race, the bright ones who are amongst the black race who are truly intelligent. Not intelligent by your standards, sir, of, well, I'm pretty sure you're thinking about somebody who went to college, because the first thing you opened up with me is asking me about my level of education. So obviously you see intelligence.
I can ask you your level of education.
No. I'm saying. You
say it's not important, but you using the tools of people who done got education. You using the tools of people who done got education, who done made it possible for you to even have this show right now. And you trying to say that shit ain't even, you trying to say it don't even matter. That them people done did all that for you.
It don't matter. It don't matter, because everything that these people, talking about what people went through, you didn't go through.
Why do you hate humans so much? Why do you hate humans so much? Tell me why do you hate them so much? Tell me why do you hate humans so much? I don't hate anybody,
and you're getting too emotional, so I'm going to have to cut your mic off because you're too emotional. I don't know where this is coming from, so I'm going to have to shut your goddamn mic off like how Star and Buck Wild. So I'm going to have to shut your mic off.
You damning me?
Yeah, because
you damning me, God?
I gotta
you damning
go.
me?
I gotta go because you're not making sense. I gotta go. 972. You on air? 972. Okay, nothing. Gonna take the next call. All right, 478. 478. You on the air?
Yes, I'm on the air.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
All right.
Wow.
You have a question?
Yeah, I did. But I've kind of lost track of it since the last call.
Yeah, that's a lot of ranting and raving and emotional. I don't have time for illogical thoughts and illogical nonsense. So, anyway, got take your time, get your question up.
The only question that I might have is that since we're actually talking about the the definition that you just gave the last caller on what you mean about being intellectual. And then you also made reference to the fact that, religious people, they believe in gods and worship beings that they never seen, or, just ghosts or things of that nature. What is it, how is it that, what is it that you're saying tonight and any other night that lies on nothing more than a belief that you are actually in tune to a higher intellect? What evidence do you have to solidify what you say?
I have the evidence of logical people who are actually thinking. See, because a lot of times when people ask me about evidence, they're looking, because I always said in the knowledge of mentellect, or in the intelligence of mentellect, I'm submitting to my people advanced intelligence or future thought, right? And in me doing that, I said that you're not going to be able to find this in a book. You're not going to be able to read this, and this shows how illogical our people are. Now, if I say I'm introducing new intelligence to my people, how are you going to go and look for it in the book? But this is how people think. They have to run to the white man rather than to think for themselves, because they never ask themselves, well, where did the white man get the intelligence or the knowledge or the information that he's giving you? It had to come from somewhere. And what I say is that in the intelligence of mentellect, which is future thought or advanced thinking, that our people who are existing in the future, who are moving on a timeline, are sending intelligence back to our people in the present in real time to advance our people forward into the future. This is referred to as inspiration. Like, you will get certain ideas and ways of thinking that will move people forward. And that's what I'm saying with the knowledge of intellect, that our people are open receivers for higher intelligence or inspiration via future thought, or people who are moving into the future. Our bloodline, our genetic, your children, my children, our grandchildren, they are highly advanced thinkers. They are those supreme beings. Those are the ones in our bloodline or our genetic who have made it to a higher level of intelligence, and they're sending intelligence back this way to advance our people to move about the evolution. One of the things I brought out in the knowledge of intellect is that black people, our so-called people, are not part of the human race. I said that our people are not a part of the human race. We are actually a part of a separate species of people referred to as that we refer to in the state of mental as the almond race, or the almond beings, right? Meaning the continuous ones or the eternal beings, because we don't look like anybody here, And I gave, I gave logical explanation to that, because black people, like I said, because we don't think logically anymore, we've been taught to think illogically. We don't even look at the fact that our hair doesn't look like anybody here. Our skin coating, I don't say complexion, our skin coating doesn't look like anybody's here. We don't move on the same vibrational rhythm as anybody here, but yet everybody here on this planet has the same vibration. Everybody here has the same type of hair except us. We don't find that to be strange. We don't find that to be, we don't find it to be out of the ordinary that everybody focuses their racism. I don't care if it's the East Indians, the Arabs, all these people focus their racism on us. That's a sign that we're not like these people. So when we started talking about the almond race or the almond beings, that was declaration that we have come on to a new intelligence of who we truly are. Okay.
Thank you.
Does this logically make sense to you?
Well, it does.
Okay. All right. Because all I'm going to present here is logic. That's all I'm going to present here.
It makes sense to me logically. But you have, I think I know that you do realize this, and that's probably why you do your broadcast, is because there are people that are tuned in, I would say, that they don't really quite know what logical thinking is.
Oh, I know that. That's why I had to do a broadcast on the illogical ways of thinking, because logical thinking is thinking that goes in an order. Black people think out of order, which is against our nature. We're supposed to think in an order.
But it's not really their fault.
I understand that, but I'm not addressing whose fault it is or not. Now it is time to clean up our way of thinking and to start thinking in an order, in a logical way. But a lot of our people don't want to do it because once you have to start thinking in a logical.
I don't think that they don't want to do it. I just think that I just think that you can be surrounded in a particular setting for such a long time, and it's perpetuated from generation to generation, that really and truly that's really all you know. But then I do understand that what you're saying is that, the bright race, they actually hear the message even in the midst of their surroundings. They still hear the message. And I understand that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you can't really just pull somebody to that level of consciousness. They have to already kind of be there.
Oh well, that's why. Let me just stop you for a second. That's why I say this is not for the black race. I said this is for the bright race, our people who are amongst the black race. I've been saying that from day one. I'm not trying to convince the black race. I'm not trying to convert the black race over into this way of thinking. The black race a lot of them have already made their mind up to stay where they are. And no matter what you tell them, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get logical ways of thinking. They would rather have beliefs. They would rather have illogical beliefs, illogical actions, and things like that, because that dictates that you don't have to be responsible when you do things like that. You don't have to be responsible for anything when you think that way or don't think. Thinking means responsibility, and the black race don't want no responsibility. All right?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, no, I was finished my thought. Okay.
Okay.
Any more questions?
No, that was my last question. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to take a little pause for the cause. We'll be right back. I'm going to take these questions who are still up here. Blue 6, love yourself. Somebody had to come and set this thing free. You know why I knew this would be a filled up broadcast is because somebody's waiting to pull the wool back over our people. Y'all been waiting for this. You've been waiting for somebody to bring in future thought. You've been waiting for somebody to bring our people ahead into the future as a new people, because it's far too damn long. It's far too long. How long we gonna keep hotepping and ashaying? How long we gonna keep doing that? How long we gonna keep with the big unks and the conscious talk and the Pan-Africanism and somebody sitting around here talking about college and whatnot? These Negroes went to college, and that right there, what you heard, that was courtesy of your college education and your college institution here in America. That first phone call, that is not a sterling endorsement for college. That young man was not a sterling endorsement for college. He clearly said that intelligence, he raised intelligence based on, my level of education, aka the white man. If the white man says I'm intelligent, if I get me a degree, the white man says I'm intelligent, then I'm intelligent. Right? The white man and any other man, no one can teach you how to think. They can tell you what to think, and you Negroes been jumping through hoops like good trained seals for 400 years. You have not been thinking on your own. You have managed to download the illogical beliefs, philosophies, and ways of action of other people. That's why nothing is working for you. That's why nothing is really changing. How often are y'all going to sit here? I know you sisters sit in the church, you sit in the mosque, you sit in this Egyptology thing, you sitting in parades, y'all doing all this stuff, and y'all like, I know you got to have one moment of clarity where you saying, damn, is this real? Is this really going to work for me? I'm like, damn, my kid's still growing up in the hood. My condition is not changing. The gentleman mentioned Dr. Malachi York, and I mentioned Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I did broadcasts on both of these men. I referred to them as mentors of mine, and I said that I'm continuing in the work. I'm continuing on. I gave credit where credit is due. I'm continuing. That's what all good teachers produce someone to come next, because we all part of the evolution. All good teachers are supposed to be part of the evolution. So somebody got to lead the charge for the 21st century. Somebody got to fire the first shot. Somebody has to be the pioneer. I wear it. Hey, I wear it. I take it on my chest. I take it. I wear it. You understand? I put the S on my chest. I did it. Hell, you see all these Facebook pictures of me. I got the Supermen, Superwomen Project. I put the S on my chest, and I told the bright ones of our people, the bright race, the intelligent race, the ones of our people who are intelligent and who are receiving future thought, the ones who are advancing and evolving into the future, the ones of our people who are thinking and seeing the bigger picture outside the box, outside of the Egyptology, the Pan-Africanism, the American pop culture, and all this nonsense that you caught up in with reality shows. People are seeing a bigger picture. None of this stuff is real. None of this stuff is real. You know why? You know it's not real. Africa, Egypt, all this stuff. I mean, because it was a time when none of this existed. There was a time where the slate was wiped clean, where there was nothing. What was there when there was none of this stuff? When this was not thought up in the minds of people? What was there? Intelligence was there. Higher intelligence. Intelligence that was transmitted to the created beings on earth. Because I told this gentleman, I said, no one thinks up anything. You think up nothing. There are ideas that are generated into your head. Your thoughts are not your own. You can think up nothing. If that was so, then why did the white man have to sit in the caves for thousands of years? What made him think, let me get off my ass and get out the caves? You know, let me shave my back and my woman's back and get into and start up a society. Somebody generated those images into their head. I was watching something on Ancient Aliens a couple of nights ago. I don't usually watch that show, but I was watching tonight, and George Washington, he kept talking about. They was reading from his notes where he kept saying he had visions of he was receiving future visions of America laid out with states and things like that. Like he was receiving future thought. Like that carried him on to continue with the battle against the English. That he was receiving full pictures, full images. And yes, the white man, the beast, all these people, the humans, they can be downloaded with pictures because they all serve a purpose. This gentleman talked about how people came before us, and he got all emotional and went into his rant about how people came before me and how am I going to disown me. Let me tell you something. You are nothing but an instrument. That's all. You're an instrument. You're a tool that's being used, just like I'm being used. Everybody's being used, because if you can't be used, then goddamn it, you're useless. You're useless. Everybody is to be used. I got no problem being used. I just answer to a higher authority. Not no God in the sky, not no devil under the ground, none of your fictitious, illogical nonsense that black folks still follow and still believe in it. I don't follow no God that where you go into church getting prayed up and you still wearing these ignorant symbols and things like that. That borders on pure superstition and mindless fanaticism. No, we moving on in the state of mental. This is a future intelligence movement. The state of mental is a future intelligence movement. And when we talk about bringing new intelligence to our people, I brought the knowledge, or I made myself a vehicle for a future knowledge that was already in existence in the future. I was just a signpost up ahead that received it and gave it to my people in this day and time, the knowledge of intellect. Now people are using that word in the English language. Certain people are using that word and not paying me for it, but we'll deal with that another time. I was the instrument of which this word was introduced, and this intelligence that came out about our people not being of the human race. Now the white man, he's saying that, he said it a couple of months ago, I was teaching this for over 2 years, that our people are not part of the human race, and that we are actually the almond beings, the almond race, that we are actually the descendants of the people who actually created this thing. Understand? And that we actually came here from that story of the so-called 200 fallen messengers or angels, that these were advanced people who were trapped down here in the earth, and we are their descendants. Black people are their descendants, that we are not part of the human race or the human creation. No, and we didn't, like you Negroes that bought into this metaphysic thing. I'm going to get on you metaphysicians in a minute. Some more illogical white man nonsense that as a Big Bang Theory and stuff just fell into order, right? Nothing just falls into order. I always say, whenever you see order, that means that a thinking mind was behind it. That's like going inside of a goddamn room and seeing a bed made up and seeing a room cleaned up. you're naturally going to think, who cleaned this room? Somebody had to clean the room. The room didn't get clean on its own. Somebody, that's logic. This is not no belief. This is not no philosophy. This is logic. All things that come in, things that are out of order, when you blow up something, when something explodes, you understand? You know, when things explode, you things fall out of order. You understand? That's what happens when there's an explosion. Things are all over the place. But when things start to line up, when there's an organization, or there's an order, that means that somebody is there. There's intelligence there. Higher intelligence. The white man knows this. You Negroes are slow. You accepted some philosophy about somebody on a cloud, somebody moving in the cloud, spirits and spooks. Y'all Negroes still using words like spirits. Are you serious? You still mystified. You still govern your life by the invisible handout and the invisible welfare check. Your invisible God is going to give you the foreseen BMW and a good job, and hopefully your kids, it's in the Lord's hands. It's in the Lord's hands. If my daughter ain't getting pregnant at 13, it's in the Lord's hands if my son ain't getting shot in his goddamn back by drug dealers. You understand? It's in the Lord's hands if I move up out the projects. That's the mentality that black people are carried on. This is the mentality in 2012. You understand? This is the mentality. You understand? This is the mentality that black people still carry their life on. You still believe, like I said, everything, you could trace everything back to what black people believe. And it always sits up here, and it always depends on other people. You can trace back Pan-Africanism. It depends on the white man. They were Romans. The Romans called us Africans. You understand? You can trace back everything to our people, metaphysics and all this nonsense from the Greeks. You understand? You can trace all that back from the Greeks. All that could be found from their philosophies, just their ideas, just them throwing things up against the wall, things that don't make sense. And so they managed to produce an illogical people. Your children don't even look at you for logic. They don't look at you. They don't come to you. Your children don't even come to you because they looking at you. Your children are looking at you, and you looking back at them, and you shaking your head, and you going, oh, that, he out here doing this, and he in the street shooting off his guns, and he fighting, and he wild, now he cutting people in the face, and he can't look to you for any intelligence because you just as crazy as he looks to you. You look crazy to him in the church or going to work every day. You can't, nobody's thinking of anything new. I mean, I understand you're trying to take care of your family and do what you got to do, but there's no working intelligence there. There is no evolution there. There is no change in life there. There's just a bunch of people who just taking up space, breathing the air, eating, sleeping, and crapping, and doing it all over again. That becomes a religion. Your way of life becomes a goddamn religion. I make sure, me, myself, the intellectual, make sure I do something different every day. You understand? I make sure I try to do something different every day. I'm going to work on a book tonight. And I'm going to release the 21 logical statements on why black people are not part of the human race, which I'm going to be uploading onto I'm going to rewrite the book tonight, knock the whole thing out. Why? Because I'm about the evolution of my people. That's what I'm about. I'm not interested in anybody's ignorant rant. I'm not interested in anybody's emotional, illogical outbursts. These Negroes that's caught in the past. Because most of the time, the people who are caught in the past, the people who don't want to let go, these are the people who don't really resonate in the future. They have no presence in the future, so they got to hold on to the past. You people who sitting around here, you still with the Egypt and the Africa and the Islam and the Christianity and the Judaism, all that. You do that because you really have no presence in the future. You have no real presence. You resonate as nothing in the future. That's why you have to constantly go into the future. I said the black race, they hate the future. They hate the thought of the future. I said black people fear, they don't fear the end more than they fear a new beginning. I'm going to say it again. Black people don't fear the end more than they fear a new beginning because both coincide with each other. The end of something else is always the beginning of something new. And black people don't want to do that. They don't want to connect to something like that. The fear of something new because you have no idea what to do in a new world. We in a new world. We coming into a new world. We coming into a new mindset. those of our people who are in tune. That's why I keep making reference to the bright race. You know, it would be nice if more of our people came out of the darkness of the black race, came up from up under that black cloud, and became the beings that you were meant to be, that you were supposed to be evolving into, those receivers, those people who are receiving inspiration from the future into the present to move our people as a collective into the future. You understand? To get us from point A to point B and C and continue on, it would be nice if that was all of our people. But let's be realistic. It's not going to be. It's not going to be. So I'm not talking to y'all. I'm not talking to the people who don't want that. This intelligence that I'm sharing with my people, this knowledge of, or this intelligence of men, I don't want to even refer to it as a knowledge. This intelligence of intellect that I'm sharing with my people is the future evolution of the bright race, those who are evolving out of the black race. This is the future intelligence. We start off in chapter 1 with the almond beings. The almond beings, no longer human, no longer referring to ourselves as human. You understand that? The humans are artificial people. They are not real people. They are an amalgamation of animals and are genetic. The humans have fur on their heads growing out. Dr. Malachi York pointed that out first and foremost. I give credit where credit is due. However, the story continues. However, the account continues. You understand? He started the ball rolling. We pick it up and go. You understand? Because we all are part of this evolution. We realize that the human race is the animal race. Walking animals. Hell, the white scientists, do they not say that humans are animals? Right? Your blood, you have O positive. A lot of you have O positive. A lot of you have something called U, a U blood type. That U blood type, all these types that they're finding out don't link back into monkeys and apes. What they're not going to tell you is they link back into reptiles. A lot of the reptile DNA was in the planet when those 200 fallen messengers came down here, those advanced people. This is not a story. This is a true account because the Sumerians talked about it. They talked about people coming here from other worlds. They talked about our people, people that look like them coming here from other worlds. You know? So for a lot of our people, this is not going to resonate. A lot of our people, future intelligence is not going to resonate to them. Okay? Future intelligence of an almond race, a bright race that has gone beyond black, that has gone beyond human, and that nonsense and that illogical lie that we are part of the human race is not going to resonate. You don't look nothing like these people, but a lot of people don't find it strange. We don't have, our hair grows up, everybody else's grows down. We are not part of the human race. The white man can accept the East Indians. Notice he can accept them. He can accept the Chinese. He can accept them. They're all together. We're not part of that. But the black race keeps trying to beg their way inside of the human race. They keep trying to kiss the ass of the beast to get their way in, to be accepted. And that was done purposely, to keep you wanting, to keep you chasing, to keep you running after because you were ignorant about who you are. You accepted illogical ways of thinking. They don't fit into your head. The thinking, the ways of illogical thoughts don't fit inside the heads of our people. To hear our people spit out some of the philosophy and the beliefs of the beast sounds like like a Chinese dubbed in movie on an Italian. You know, that's what it sounds like. I'm going to take this call, 478. 478? 478, you on air? 478. Okay. I don't hear anything from 478. Okay. I guess we got listeners. You know. We, right? Reptiles are melanated beings. I'm going to give you a little quick future lesson on melanin. Black people don't have melanin, right? What you're looking at is a carbon coating. Melanin is an artificial watercolor, okay? Melanin is an artificial watercolor that was given to the humans who were birthed in water. Carbon is a natural element that was produced through sunlight on this planet, all right? We come from that. This coating on our skin is carbon coating. It is not melanin. Right? Melanin is an artificial skin coloring that was given first to the East Indians, your real black race. That is the people with melanin. Melanin can be taken out of the skin. And that's what happened when your East Indians, who were given artificial carbon or artificial water coloring, which became what you call melanin, that's what happened when these people received that coloring to their skin. Now, when our people, if you notice, when the East Indians started to move all over the world, that's when you start hearing about the color coming out of their skin, and you start seeing the changes and the mutation of the white man. The white man is a mutant of the East Indians. He is not our people, nor is the East Indian. That's why if you notice, you look at the coloring of the so-called complexion of the coloring of the East Indians, notice it doesn't look like ours. And they'll be dark as us, but why doesn't it look the same if it's all melanin? It doesn't look the same because it's not the same. We have a carbon coating. This is mentellect. This is what we're bringing in the state of mental. This is the future knowledge. You got people still sitting up here talking about melanin, and we melanated beings. We don't even have the same coating on our skin as the Africans. The Africans have a different coating. That's why if you look at the Africans, they have a dark, dingy look to their skin. Same way the East Indians do. Right? That's melanin. Right? The Africans, a lot of them are actually sunburnt because sunlight doesn't penetrate their skin. That's why they look so dark. A lot of them are sunburnt. When you see them looking blue-black like that, that's not natural. That's a sunburn. That's in reverse what the white man goes through when you see him burnt red. The Africans burn blue-black because the sunlight is not penetrating them. When the sunlight penetrates our skin, we turn a rich reddish brown. The Africans don't turn that. They turn blue-black because sunlight doesn't penetrate them. You understand? It burns them, same way it burns your white man and your East Indians. The ones running around with all that skin block on because they're artificial people. They're not real. If sunlight cannot penetrate your skin, then you are artificial beings. You are part of the human genetic. The humans are artificial beings. They were created. When you create something, that means it's artificial. Natural people, right, are people that were beamed in through genetic sun screening or sun zoning, right? We came from a solar genetic. Your humans came from a water genetic. They were bred in the water. That's why when these Negroes talk about life started in Africa, how the hell did life start in Africa when nobody even acknowledged in Africa at one point in time? That came from the Romans. Life starts in water. So you're going to tell me what the land was when man started to walk out of the water? When those almond beings started doing genetic splicing, because obviously these people had to be the first scientists. These people who you call God had to be the first scientists, because the white man is not doing anything new when it comes to science. He's obviously following something else that was already done before. But a lot of you Negroes, to him, a lot of y'all, he's God. So you believe that he's doing something first. You understand? When he's doing something after the fact. You understand? He's picking up an intelligence that y'all not picking up. Why? Because you caught in illogical ways of thinking. I said that America was supposed to be founded by our people, not by the white man. That's why he uses Egyptian symbols. Because this society was supposed to be a continuation of the ancient societies. But our people don't know that. Why? Because we focused on illogical ways of thinking. We're supposed to be moving forward. You understand? We're not going through an evolution because why? Our people, you got certain people that want to keep us trapped in the old ways. They don't want us to evolve because they're not evolving. Don't listen to your black conscious brother or your black conscious sister who talk, oh, that guy, what he talking about, that don't sound right. He making that stuff. No, it resonates to the intelligent ones of our people. It's common sense. All I did was present common sense tonight. I opened myself up for questions. What I got in return, not from the sister who called. I understand the sister, she was on point. She was asking sincere questions. But what I got from the first caller was illogical rants, an emotional rant. That's what I got. I didn't come here to do this. I didn't come here to give way or listen to anybody emotional rants. But you're going to get that within the black race because that's fear. That's fear. That's fear because those are the people. That is the mindset of a people who are not moving into the future, and they don't want you to move there neither. They'll keep you steeped in Christianity. They'll keep you steeped in Islam. They'll keep you steeped in Judaism and this Israelite nonsense, where you got niggas walking around dressed like they somewhere 50,000 years ago in dirty robes, talking about somebody going to come back in a chariot with swords. Are you serious? And y'all listen to this. You understand? Or you got people sitting around here really believing that somebody's going to give you some property or some land because you got some monkey hats on your head. You understand? Them goddamn fezzes, the monkey hats. You know? You niggas really believe this nonsense. Are you serious? The white man walking around talking about he getting in spaceships going back and forth, leaving this planet and whatnot. He locking down things, and you niggas sitting around talking about, yeah, when we gonna get our 40 acres and a mule or 5 states? Good luck with that. Good luck with that. These niggas sit up here talking about, well, the Indians, the Native Americans, they got some land. Yeah, right. And what did John Travolta say in that movie? Like, I bring it back. What did John Travolta say in that movie? When in that movie, Savages. What did he say at the end of that movie? He said, yeah, you know, he said, even though we made the arrest on the Indian reservation, and technically it's supposed to be sovereign land, even though we know it's not. You know, that's the United States. That's the people that you sitting up here thinking you're gonna make a deal with. You know, they laughing at you. They're laughing at you. Like they said on what's the name? They're all laughing at you. They're all laughing at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. That Carrie in the movie Carrie. That's the black race. Y'all niggas represent Carrie, and the humans represent all the people laughing at you. They're all laughing at you. They're all gonna laugh at you, and they've been laughing at the black race for 400 years. You niggas are the biggest joke on the planet because you're just so damn gullible. You're just so gullible. You know? When are y'all going to wake up? What is it going to take? New knowledge is here for the evolution of our people. The knowledge, or the intelligence, I should say, of intellect. That's here for the evolution of our people. A smart teaching, an intelligence teaching. But, you know, a lot of Negroes, they're not going to accept it because it's not coming from the white man. It's coming from somebody who looks like you or appears to be like you. You understand? It's coming from one who looks like you. So the black race ain't going to accept it because they by nature are still slaves. They want Islam. I mean, they want the lash on their back. They still want the slave teachings. They still want Islam, Christianity, Judaism. They still want that. You know? Some of them want Buddhism. Any made up philosophy, anything. Some fat guy sitting on a damn block. Yeah? Some fat black Chinese guy sitting on a block somewhere, and his philosophy. Nothing based in intelligence. Nothing that's going to get you to thinking. See, mentellect is going to get you to thinking. It's going to get our people to do something y'all ain't done in a long time, and that is think. Think. Replace prayer with thought. We're going to take a call, 270. 270, you're on air.
How you doing, Mr. Intellectual Newman Carly?
How you doing?
This is Mr. Nas Carter.
Okay, how you doing, Nas?
I'm doing good, sir. I was calling to say that, I mean, everything you say, I've been listening to you for a while. It feels good after all my searching to finally come across somebody that the logic makes so much sense. And I've been thinking like this ever since I was 14, 15 years old. I'm 27 right now. And it's kind of like a bad feeling because I'm the only one in my family amongst friends, you know, when nobody else is evolving around me. So, I mean, it feels good, you know, I just encourage you to continue to speak strong and don't pay no attention to them foolish niggas that ain't trying to evolve. Sometimes I wonder why you even waste your time even responding to them. I mean, because if they just think, if they just use their own mind for their own thoughts, you know, it will come to them. But, you know, I'll just keep doing your thing. I support you, and I'm in Texas. I don't know if you ever make it somewhere around here, but I'll definitely be there. You understand what I'm saying? But
well, the state of Mentel is we're opening up the first Armin Mentorium here in New York, Armin Mentorium #1, and we're going to go throughout state to state, opening up our future intelligence communities all over the place for the bright race. This is a future evolution right here. You seem to be the only bright one amongst a black race of people. You seem to be one of the special ones. You understand? We got you are the bright sheep in the family. You know what I mean? That's our new term. You the bright sheep in the family. You know? That's
I just don't know how. I didn't mean to cut you off, sir. I just don't know how it skipped so many, and I was chosen, or my thought process began to take hold like this. That was the one thing that I was trying to understand, you know. And it's like it's hard trying to get. I'm not trying to convince, but you know, when you throw the views out there, it's like they still don't want to make no sense of it. And I'm like, well, why am I the only one out of so many around me that thinks like this? So that's is what I was trying to come to the conclusion of. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was strange at first. You go to asking questions. You know what I'm saying? I was brought up real heavy into religion, and nobody could give me answers. So I began, you know, to really free myself from my thoughts and come into who I really was. And I mean, and it led me to meeting people like you. Well, you're the only one I've met like this, you know. But it just feels good to hear somebody talking about something that makes sense. In this day and time, it really do. And I feel everything you're saying, and I do not feel like I'm a part of the human race at all.
That's good. Well, you're not part of the human race. Like I said, you know, I saw your question earlier where you asked about the mixed race women and stuff like that. I told you go get yourself a black woman. You know, a black on both sides. I mean, you can't really help, but you know, if a sister is, you know, mixed and whatnot, and she's in tune, then you know maybe it's because you got some of our people black as buckwheat, but they damn black Caucasians though. You know, they black Caucasians under the skin. So it's not even it's our people who are of the bright race, the ones who are tuning in. Like I said, you are of the bright race, so you have to come amongst your own. You understand? You're supposed to be coming amongst your own who are thinking the same way, because we actually represent the phoenix rising out of the ashes. The ashes represent the black race, and the phoenix represents the black race, because the black race is dead. They finished. Stick a fork in the goddamn black race. They done.
I understand that, and you can see it.
You can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, it's not. People sit up here. People will sit up here and they'll say, "Oh, you know, Menkares, you the only one that's saying this." Hey, it's I got a whole bunch of people coming with me talking about now. They saying what I'm saying. So they coming with me. They coming with the state of mental, because it's time to form this new family. It's time to get inside this new community and this collective and separate from the black race, because the black race is nothing but a bunch of black zombies. They dead. That's doing the mentally dead you walking next to. Hell, and I got it in my family. You know what I mean? My brother's is mentally dead. I mean, he brain dead. He walking around. He gets some shock waves of intelligence, but this nigga, he's sitting around here still talking about the conscious community. I'm like, damn, you still talking about that? I done moved on past that. I wasn't even focused on them guys.
Yeah.
You know, they still walking around talking about, you know, they still if you notice with the black race, they moving in a rotation. Everything is repeat. Everything is repeat. How many goddamn onks you gonna wear? How many of these old niggas, these old fossil niggas you gonna drag up to talk about Egypt and Africa over and over again? How long?
Yeah, like you said, the past is the past for a reason.
Exactly.
You know
the past. Yeah, exactly. You know, but the majority of the black race, they just not going to get it. So, like I said, I'm not even putting no energy. Only reason I spent time talking to that first guy on the thing is because I give people a chance and I let people answer questions. Because when I don't do that, what ends up happening is people think, oh, you trying to avoid the question. You know, the brother trying to avoid the question. Why you avoiding the question? Intellectual, you so intellectual. Why you trying to avoid the question? So I answer everybody's question until you start getting illogical and start talking out of your head and start getting emotional and start with the rants. I'm not interested in anybody's rants. I'm not interested in anybody's emotional rants. I'm only interested in logical questions. If you got a logical question to ask me, if we're going to stay in that realm of logic, even though I understand it's hard for the black race because they've been raised on illogical thoughts and ways and actions, you know, that's how it's going to be. But as long as we are trying to stay on this level where we're thinking, we're staying on the even keel. I'll answer anything you want me to. About mentellect, I'll go as deep as you want, because people will sit up here and say, oh, I'm making up mentellect, or I just came out, I'm pulling it out of the sky, and I'm just making up stuff. I'm not making up anything. And I'm just receiving. I'm just in tune. That's it. I tell people I'm not interested in what's going on in society. I'm not interested in politics. I'm not interested in the black race. I'm not interested in the racial problem, the white race. I'm not interested in none of that. You know, that's why I can receive future thought, because my brain is cleared out. Everything has been gutted from my brain. All the Egyptology, the Pan-African, all the stuff I done heard from these Negroes over the last 20 years been gutted from my brain officially. That's why I was able to receive what I'm receiving right now. And that's the same way. I don't pay no attention to these Negroes.
I understand that.
You know.
But I like all the way from Huntsville, Texas. I encourage you, Mr. Intellectual Newman Carver, keep on going, and I'm keep on following, and I'm trying to advance. Well, I'm not saying I'm trying, but I'm advancing, evolving just as yourself. So thank you again for taking out time to talk to me, and I'm gonna continue to listen to the show. All right.
Well, that's no problem. Well, like I said, you should be coming, Nas. You should be coming amongst your own within the state of Mentel, because this is more than just a radio broadcast. We tell our people out there who want to tune in and receive this intelligence to come amongst your people in the bright community, the bright elemental order that's being set up. All that, we doing all this stuff in the state of Mentel. We're not focused on nothing that nobody else is doing. We focused on future intelligence. Come amongst your own. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right, brother. All right, I'm going to try to use 478 one more time, just because you up there and everything, and, 478? 478. No cigar. Okay. All right. I'm going to play a little bit of music, break up the monotony. Let me see what I want to play. Let me see. Bittersweet, Blue Six. I had to go through all of this stuff purposely, because everything is shock value. Everything is waking my people up. Like I said, certain people are already dead. And when I was out in the street with my brothers, and I saw the hopelessness on the face of my people. My people in despair, they looking for something. They looking for the next level. They looking for the next step. If I sit up here for 2 hours and I rip apart everything that our people have believed in, accepted, all the things that we, when we had the wool pulled over our eyes and people just BS'd us, because, like I said, the sister said, that we were lost people and whatnot. Being lost is no excuse for staying lost. Being ignorant is no excuse for staying ignorant. Because if you can say that, if for all the people that could say that we have been ignorant, that we've been lost, for all the people that can get up here and say that, why are these people not teaching you the truth? Why are they not telling you the truth? Why are they continuing to lie to you? You know why? Because just like a doctor or a pharmaceutical company, they're not going to give you the herb to heal you. They're going to give you portions of the herb in mixed up drugs to keep you living with your sickness, right? It's the same way these people in the pulpits, in the mosque, and these organizations and these movements and these illogical ways of thinking, they want to keep you coming back, giving money, giving your time, your attention, your thoughts, because thoughts are power. If I could get you to give me your thoughts, in an illogical way, I can get you to do anything. The people in religion, they don't bear the burden of having to prove what it is they believe. They tell you in religion all the time, you just got to believe it. Either you believe it or you don't. The Israelites told me one time, well, brother, because I asked them logical questions, and it's funny how the people in religion and these guys, they want to use logic when it helps their case. Then when you ask them logical questions, oh, well, brother, if you don't see it, then, it's not for you to see it. Well, I just asked you a logical question. All I asked you was a question. Like, for example, I asked them, I said, they said that the white man is the devil and he's going to pay for what he did to black people, right? Then on the other hand, they'll say, well, God was punishing black people for breaking the laws, and he allowed the white man to put us in bondage and be over us. So I said, well, if God did that, then why are y'all mad at the white man? If God put the white people over us. And them niggas turned beet red. I'm like, what's your gripe with the white man? If you say that God, because you broke the laws, God put the white man over you, then why are you mad at the white man? Because obviously what the white man is doing is of God, the same God you claim you serve. Right? Oh, here was the intelligent response I got. Oh, but you white people overdid it. What? What? They overdid it? Really? Oh, I didn't know. But I thought all things were in the parameters of God. So if all things are in the parameter of God, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They whooped your ass. They hung you on trees. They did all the things they did just to teach you a lesson, right? According to what you say. Because I always say that everything our people go through, everything our people went through under the beast, that's our fault. It ain't the white man's fault. It's not his fault. People say, oh, brother, that's wrong for you to say. See, no, it's right for me to say because I don't expect anything from the white man. I don't expect him to be nothing but what he is. I don't hate him. Yeah? You know, hating the white man is like hating a baby for pissing on himself. Babies piss on themselves. You know? Him being who he is and doing what he does in his beastly ways, that's who he is. But see, the problem is you only get hurt feelings and a hurt ass when, you know, you expect him to put it in slow. You know? He ripped your grippers. You know what I mean? And you mad now because he ripped your grippers out. He wasn't trying to sugarcoat it. He put it in. He put it up in you. He tore you up. You know, he prison raped you. He prison raped the black race. You know, he been prison raping the black race for 400 years with no Vaseline. And you niggas still bend over and grab your ankles. Y'all still bend over and grab your ankles every day. You go to church. Every day you in the mosque. Every day you in the goddamn synagogue. Any day you still sitting around looking for handouts and reparations and sovereignty. You bending over, grabbing your ankles, and saying, "Thank you, sir. May I have another one?" That's what the hell you doing. That's what the hell you doing. You saying, "Thank you, sir. May I have another one?" You know. You bending over. You don't have y'all. It's like y'all don't have any feeling about what it is y'all doing. You don't understand how you going down on the buff. You understand? Every time you beg these people, every time you still out here wearing their philosophies, every time you staying stuck in the past, anytime you still in the church, every time you still in the mosque, every time you still accepting this madness from this slave mentality, you bending over and virtually grabbing your ankles. You understand? And allowing these people to rape you and get raped and raped and raped over and over again. You understand? You're asleep. And nothing comes to sleepers but dreams. And you Negroes are going to keep dreaming to the end of time. And you're going to continue in a perpetual state of dreaming till you go back into bondage to somebody else. Who's next? The Chinese. You'll go into bondage to them and you'll still be singing that same song. You'll still be singing that same sorry-ass song. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to think? When are we going to, take, stock in ourselves? Like I said last time, taking stock in the black race. Because, we have to move logically. God is waiting. The true and living God, Amen, is waiting for us to move logically again like we once did. Hell, you talk about the Egyptians. If the Egyptians could see our people now, the ancient ones, or whoever you talk about, the ancient ones could see our people now, they'd be like, nigga, please. Y'all better get away from us. We don't know y'all. That's real. That's real. So, we're going to go through this, last thing of the night. As I always do, I always make sure I answer all the last questions because we come to the end of our broadcast. Let me see. Why do black people think illogically? Because it's easy. Black people have been trained to think illogically. You understand? We don't go with what makes sense. We believe in things like religion and metaphysics and the Big Bang Theory and all kind of foolishness. They just tell white people, just the beast will tell you Negroes anything, and the black man will follow a rolling ball. Anything that don't make sense, anything that's based in stupidity, the black man will follow, and the black woman will follow. Why? Because it's easy to follow stupid things. It's easy. You don't have to be responsible. So, once you acquire this logic, once you start thinking logically, then responsibility comes. You have to be responsible for your own actions. Hell, the black race don't want that. They want a handout. They want another program. They want another religion. They want another relationship book. They want another some nonsense from some people that don't even look like you. You understand? You want another picture of some white couple holding hands, and then for you damn black women to turn around and talk about, oh, see, I want the same type of thing like that white couple in the picture. And then when it don't come, you pissed off. You mad. Now the black man ain't nothing. He ain't shit. You know what I mean? Illogical ways of thinking. You see the black woman with the damn blonde wig on looking dizzy as she want to be in the feed. They think that's normal. Why do black people believe in illogical things? Oh, yeah, I answered that already. I answered that. Why don't black people think before they act? Well, like I said, you got people who think that black people are not thinking. They move on impulse, react. That's why, like I said, the white man takes away civil rights, affirmative action. What do black people do? We gonna march, right? Somebody get their ass whooped in the black community or get shot down. We gonna march. Somebody, somebody don't get a fair housing loan or a business loan and whatnot. We gonna protest. Right? Nobody says, let's pull our money and form our own bank. Let's logically try to get together and, probably look for another part of the world and whatnot. Let's go to the UN collectively and look for another part of the world to take up residence in and set up our own laws and our own police and our own thing. And even if we're starting small, that's the only way you're going to be able to get rid of racism is by taking yourself out of the people's kitchen. Taking them out of their, but so many black people, they don't want to do that. So many black people are comfortable. They're comfortable. You still now they tell you live in a post-racial society. So you Negroes, they'll tell y'all anything, and you just go for it. You believe it. You understand? That's why, like I said, you react. You understand? You don't think. Everything is impulse. Nothing is logic. Nothing is thinking anymore. Let's get the guns and go after the white man for all the things he did. Really? Really? The FBI, the CIA, the Army, the Navy, the Army, you're going to fight all of them with about 50 of y'all or 70 of y'all or 100 of y'all. Yeah, we're going to take the man down. See? Illogical stupidity, nonsense. Black revolution, black power. Yeah, okay. Whatever. The only revolution you're going in is a spiral to nowhere. There is no power. The power is off. That's going to be realized in the bright race. The only power we truly have at our fingertips is our intelligence and a logical way of thinking that y'all seem to be giving up on. All right. Are black people really thinking in this society? No, they're not. They're reacting. They are living off an impulse, like electrical charges and shocks. Things happen here. Like I said, talk to the black man, talk to the black woman. Like I said, you better off, like I said, mindless. Mindless. Talk to the black man and black woman. They don't even acknowledge that they different from everybody else. It's like black people just here taking up space. They're not thinking about nothing. They're not bringing anything. They're not bringing anything forward. Thinking people bring things forward. Thinking people who are not thinking are talking about things in the past. You are vibrating off of other past people's thoughts. So you people that are still up here talking about Africa and Egypt and all these things of the past, you vibrating off of the thoughts of everybody else that passed away. You're not thinking up new thoughts. You're not opening your mind for new ways of intelligence. You're not opening your mind for new things to resonate in there. So there's nothing for you. So obviously you're not thinking. Thinkers are forward, orderly people. That's what thinkers are. These are people who receive future intelligence and future thought. Right? Why don't black people value logic as true intelligence? Because you depend on the white man. If the white man don't say it, then it ain't so. Massa don't say it, it ain't so. Massa ain't put it in the book, it ain't real. The intellectual, that guy, wait, what is this stuff he coming up with? He talking about some new knowledge, but I don't see it in the book. Duh, nigga. If I'm saying I'm bringing new intelligence, then would you find it in a book? Then that means it wouldn't be new. See, this is what I'm talking about. Illogical thinking. You understand? Illogical beliefs and actions. Just saying anything off the top of your goddamn head without thinking. New would mean it's not in the book. I got to write the book. And I'm going to write the books. You understand? For the intelligent ones, for the bright ones. Was there ever a time when black people thought logically? Yeah, when you ruled the world. Right? You Negroes talk about Egypt so much and all these things and these empires and Timbuktu that you ruled in. You understand? You're not even thinking logically anymore. You understand? That's when those were the times you thought logically when you were in power. You were receivers of higher intelligence. Now look at you now. Now you just receive the hand-me-down thoughts of the damn white man. You receive his sloppy seconds. You know, his thirsty thirds, his filthy fourths. That's what you Negroes get. That's what you sitting up here knocking down, trying to read these conspiracy books, reading his philosophical books, calling yourself metaphysicians. Y'all sound like a bunch of jackasses when you call yourself metaphysicians. You don't know how ignorant you sound. The so-called conscious community, the first one to say, well, if you keep going through things over and over again, that's going to mean you insane. Then you niggas are insane. You fit the definition. You fit the profile. You the perps. You know? Why did black people accept belief over logic? Because, like I said, it's easy. It's easy to accept belief over logic. It's easy to let somebody else do your thinking for you instead of you having to logically put that brain to work, to allow it to open your mind up and let go of all these preconceived notions to receive future intelligence or higher intelligence. It's easy to accept what's here. That's easy. And you Negroes, just because you become parrots and you parroting the white man and the East Indian and the Arab talking about something stupid like chakra points and melanin, you understand? Some damn East Indian, some white man wrote in a book, and you niggas, oh, I guess I got chakra points and melanin too. You know? Now y'all accept that garbage. Right? The intellectuals here to tell you the truth. Logically. You're not like these people. You don't look like these people on the outside. So how the hell are you the same as these people on the inside? What you look like on the outside is dictated by what you are on the inside. So if you don't look like these people on the outside, how the hell are you the same as them on the inside? That don't even make sense. But that's the illogical thinking of the black race. The white man tell you anything and then just laugh at you later. You know what I mean? Tell you now, laugh at you later. And you Negroes accept it. Will black people evolve into logical thinkers in the future? Yeah. As the bright race, not as the black race. The black race will never be logical thinkers. That's not going to happen. You know? So, forget that. We've come to the end of our broadcast. We've had a good night, had an emotion-filled night. The Negro earlier, you know, he just had to get his rant on, so, you know, whatever. You know. Calm yourself, bro. You know. Join us September 23rd, Sunday, September 23rd for the Supermen, Superwomen Project in Brooklyn, New York. Sister put the information up or the intelligence up on it in the chat room, right? You can hear me, you know, go on about this knowledge of intellect and the future evolution of our people. Yes, the bright ones do have a plan for the advanced ones of our people. It's crunch time, people. The intelligent ones of our people have to come up. Forget the dead ones, the ignorant. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares. Join us Wednesday night. I don't know what the topic is going to be yet, but it's going to be good as usual. I'm going to make it good for you, for the bright ones of our people, the ones who can receive it. Good night.